night of the murder. That night I was out in the boat on the lake. I was looking for something, I found it, so I quietly slipped the boat back at the rental shop dock. Then, just as I was thinking about going home, I heard this bang. I looked out over the lake. I didn't see a boat. After I heard that single gunshot, I went home. He only heard one. And he went home, and there was nobody on the lake. That supports what I was saying about the pictures. First picture was taken at 11:50. If we can link this together, we can then discredit the other witness's testimony and say he couldn't have seen a boat on the lake with the first bang like he said. And then he said he heard a second bang. He's got it the wrong way round. If we can prove that that first bang was around 11:50, was it midnight or not? Was it before or after midnight? That's the key question here. So there was nobody on the lake with the first gunshot. That was an unusually vague testimony even for this court. In any case, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. What's wrong, Nick? It's Larry. I have no idea what he's going to say if I press him. I'm a little scared. Well, we've come this far. There's no way to go but forward, Nick. Alright. Larry Butts. That night I was out on the boat in the lake. Let's question. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? There's so many things wrong, I don't know where to begin. Well, okay, first of all, what time was it? Oh, it was after 11 when I went out in the boat. By that time, everyone had gone home for the night. Except for the old caretaker, I guess. I waited until the coast was clear, so to speak. You want a voice act for the stream? What are you trying to say about my voice acting? How dare you? And why were you out on a boat at such a late hour? I was looking for something and I found it. Tell us what it was. Looking for something? Yeah. Mr. Butts, what was it you were looking for? What the witness was searching for is irrelevant. Most likely he was hunting for this Gordy. That's surprisingly close to the truth in a sense. He kind of was, but not. This is all irrelevant. Let's get it over with. Let's just make sure we did skip over something. He was out on the boat. That was about 11. I was looking for something, didn't find it. I quietly slipped the boat back to the rental shop dock. You meant voice act with me. Around what time was that? Well, let's see. I figure I was out searching for about an hour. I guess it was around 12, yeah. You're not sure? Hey, don't give me that face. I'm not some sort of human sundial, okay? People use watches these days, Larry. So he says he got back around 12. And then he heard the bang. Where did the sound come from? Yeah, well, I wasn't too sure about that. I looked around, you know. Did you look at the lake? Yeah, I looked. I looked out over the lake but didn't see a boat. Wasn't there a boat on the lake? Order! Order! Well, Mr. Butts? Whoa, whoa. Everybody just calm down, okay? I mean, it was real foggy that night. I'm not sure whether there was a boat out there or not. Okay, no problem. That's just the most important part of the case. Then you went home. You only heard one bang. Yeah. Well, Nick? It was a pretty wishy-washy testimony, wasn't it? I guess I should just start working on the contradictions. Sorry. I wish I could be more helpful. I wish I could call my sister. Alright, so now we get to go back through it again. So we know he went out there at 11. He was looking for something that we wouldn't talk about. I quietly slipped the boat back to the rental ship dock. Thinking of going home, he heard the bang. He doesn't remember where it came from. I don't know which part I need to contest. Thinking about going home, he heard the bang, looked over the wake, didn't see a boat. He heard a single shot, he went home. I mean, obviously that's the contradiction, is that there was a single shot. And we know we have two pictures taken at the time of the gunshots because of that automated camera. You think I need to do the one bang? Okay. But what do I work it with? Lotta's deposition heard 2 sounds like gunshots just after midnight. Let's try that. Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence. It does? I don't... What? Really? Objection overruled. Try to think before you make accusations, Mr. Wright. God damn. Oh, what am I supposed to point out as a contradiction? He doesn't contradict himself, that's the thing. I mean, if anything, that lines up with what we have. Because... nothing over there. Let's go back and work it again. That's not going to contradict anything. He was out on the boat in the lake, so nothing there. I was looking for something and found it. Nothing we compressed there. Quietly slipped the boat back in the rental shop dock. I asked him about what time this was, and he said he was out there for about an hour. But 50 minutes is about an hour, right? So, about going home, I heard the bang, looked out over the lake and didn't see a boat. After that, I heard the single gunshot. I went home. Maybe it's that one that we have to use this with. Because he heard I pressed on the other one, didn't I? Where he heard a bang. Wait a sec, Larry. Yeah, what? You only heard one bang, you're sure? That's what I said. But Miss Lotta Hart testified yesterday she heard 2 bangs. And the old man just now said the same thing. They both heard 2 gunshots that light. Huh? Were you even listening? Were you even paying attention to what they all said? Yo, Nick, please. Huh? You know something's been bothering me. I'm a witness, see? Like a customer here. So you gotta treat me nice and stuff, okay? No, Larry, that's not how this works. Mr. Butts, what? You only heard 1 gunshot, are you sure? To tell you the truth, I'm not sure. Huh? Not sure? How could you not be sure? Yeah, well, I might have missed the other gunshot. I was listening to something else. else. My radio, dude, with my headphones. What? Order. Stop that booing. Mr. Butts, you were listening to the radio with your headphones. Yeah, so what? That a crime? I listen to my radio. Everyone listens to the radio. What's the big deal? Mr. Von Karma, your opinion. Waste of time. I do not accept this witness nor his shoddy testimony. Well, Mr. Wright, should he continue the testimony? Yes. Please allow the witness to continue the testimony. Bah. Nothing is more pitiful than a lawyer who doesn't know when he's lost. Very well, Mr. Butts, please give your testimony and be sure to include details like your radio. Right, leave it to me. I wouldn't if there were any other way out of this, believe me. Alright. It's lonely being alone on Christmas Eve. He said he has a girlfriend. That's why I was listening to an all-request show on the radio, see? I was listening to it real booming loud like, but I'm sure I heard that gunshot. I remember exactly what the DJ was saying when I heard it too. What was he saying? He's probably saying something like, you know, 10 minutes to go to Christmas time, or something. You were listening to your radio at high volume. Don't you know the kind of damage that can do to your ears? Yeah, what's the big problem? Can't a man listen to his radio in peace? Isn't this a free country? I truly believe Larry has no idea what the problem is here. Judge, can you believe a word this witness says? What he heard was probably nothing more than a drum beat on the radio. True enough, it is difficult to believe this testimony. Wait, Your Honor. The witness said he remembers exactly what the DJ said when he heard the gunshots. Excuse me? DJ? An announcer, the guy who says things on the radio. Anyway, what this means is, when he heard the sound, no music was playing. The DJ only talks between songs, so he could have heard a gunshot from the lake. I'd like to cross-examine the witness, Your Honor. Very well, Mr. White. Mr. Wright. Can't believe I'm continuing this charade. You need to test your mic. Forgot to ask some people if the voice is clear. What you could do is record yourself. That's what I used to do to test my volume levels. When I was getting started, I'd use OBS to record a snippet of game audio and me talking into the mic, and then I would adjust volumes and try again and again till it came through, like if you play it back and listen to yourself. That's a good way to do it. It's lonely being alone on Christmas Eve. So you turned on the radio. Right. I just wanted to hear someone's voice, you know. You don't know what it's like out there alone on Christmas Eve, alone. I shouldn't have said anything. Listening to an all-request show. Do you by any chance remember the name of the program you were listening to? This has nothing to do with the case, Your Honor. Objection sustained. The witness was listening to the radio. That's all we need to know. Tell us, Mr. Butts, how loud your radio was set to that night. Listening to it real booming loud like. And? Real booming loud? Yeah, you know. And you had the headphones on. Yep. I wouldn't think you could hear anything going on outside at all. I'm sure I heard the gunshot. Need to ask definitely about what he heard. What was the DJ saying? Can you prove that? No, of course you can't. No, I can't prove it, but I remember that moment real clear. I mean, while I was talking about it, it came back real clear to me, you know? And what was the DJ saying? Mr. Wright, please cease this pointless questions. What possible good could knowing what the radio DJ said do for us? Indeed, Mr. Von Karma has a point. I'll allow the question only if you see some reason why we should care. We should care. We should care, Your Honor. Of course we should. Why? Well, how do you know if we don't ask him? Oh, fine, very well. Mr. Butts, please testify to the court. What was the radio announcer saying when you heard the gunshot? Just when she said, hey, it's almost Christmas, I heard the gunshot. Right, there we go, finally. Are you sure? Of course I am. She had this real sexy voice. Maybe Von Karma was right, I'm not sure how that helps us at all. This is the most ludicrous testimony I've ever heard. There's one gleaming ray of hope in there. I've got to press it until we get to the bottom of what happened. Okay. So now we need to deal with this with the first picture with nothing on the lake. It's almost Christmas. Shows an empty lake taken automatically on the 24th at 11:50. That's what he saw and heard. Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence. It does? What? It doesn't, apparently. The fuck? It's this one. The murder took place afterwards. The only gunshot he heard. We're finally getting to the heart of the matter of why there are multiple gunshots. Where the hell were the other shots fired to and from? Gotta be this one then. Maybe the gun? No, I don't think so. I mean, it says it's been fired 3 times, but the time is important here, not the number of shots. Almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas, basically. And this was taken 12:15. She wouldn't have said almost Christmas if that was the, you know, if it was after, like 15 minutes after. She'd have been saying Merry Christmas. But it must be this one then. See, the autopsy report says 24th or 25th. Like, there's a window of time that overlaps because it was around the midnight area. They can usually have like a half-hour window of time. Larry, are you absolutely sure what you're saying is correct? Huh? What's with the face? You look scary, dude. If you're trying to scare me, you better know I don't scare that easy. You look pretty scared in your own murder trial at the beginning of the game. Is something the matter, Mr. Wright? Your Honor, did you hear what the witness just said? The DJ said, hey, it's almost Christmas, when he heard the gunshot, indeed, and almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. Do you realise what this means? When he heard the gunshot, it was still Christmas Eve. That would seem to be the case, yes, but he should have heard the gunshot after midnight. This photograph is irrefutable proof of the fact. Let's see what time was on, the photo was taken on the gun. Oh, sorry, start that again. Let's see what the time was on the photo taken when the gun triggered Ms. Hart's camera. 15 minutes past midnight on Christmas Day. This is a clear contradiction, Your Honor. Order! Order! What does this mean? The 2 prior witnesses heard gunshots after midnight. However, this witness says he heard a gunshot before midnight. Judge, the answer is simple. The current witness is plainly mistaken. Just look at him. Suspicious. What? Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think about Mr. Butts' claim he heard the gunshot before midnight? He is right, because there was a gunshot, because the second lake photo that we have submitted as evidence was taken before that, before midnight, and there was no boat on the lake. And the old guy said when he looked out on the lake, he saw a boat on the first gunshot. He's wrong. We've got nothing we can prove that with, but this photo might lead us down that path. Larry is not mistaken, Your Honor. He heard that gunshot before midnight. Intriguing. I'm assuming you have evidence for this wild claim. Show me the evidence there was a gunshot before midnight. Look at this photograph. Every time No, I'm not going to do the Nickelback reference again. This was taken by our witness yesterday, Ms. Lotta Hart, with her automatic camera, the timestamp on the photo reads December 24th, 11:50. Oh. But there's nothing on the lake in this picture, Your Honor. The real issue here is not why nothing is shown in the photograph. It's why this photograph exists at all. What do you mean? Your Honor, this photograph was taken by an automatic camera. The camera was set to go off in response to a loud noise. Ah, correct. There was a loud noise on the lake at 11:50. That's why this photograph was taken. In other words, when Larry heard that gunshot, it was most definitely still Christmas Eve. Indeed, it would seem that is the case. And then within the 25 minutes afterwards, he left. Because the next gunshot wasn't till 25 minutes afterwards. Then, where does that leave us? Ms. Hart testified she heard the gunshots after midnight. Are you claiming she was mistaken? Not at all, Your Honor. It is a fact that the camera also triggered at 15 minutes after midnight. Your Honor, that night there were 2 sets of gunshots with a 25-minute pause between them. Thank God we're finally getting to something I was pointing out at the beginning of the case. Why would this be? Don't be fooled, Judge. That camera was set to respond to loud noises, yes? There's no proof the loud noise at 11:50 was a gunshot. Why, the witness could have sneezed and triggered the camera. That is true, the sneezes do trigger them, but you've got to be standing right next to it. Hey, my nose was clear that night, man. Well, Mr. Wright, there's no turning back now. Can you prove the loud noise at 11:50 was indeed a gunshot? Please show the court evidence, if you have any. Well, I mean, we know the pistol was fired multiple times. This pistol was used more than once. But then they could say, well, this pistol could have been used elsewhere. You see, even though Lotta Hart said she heard 2 gunshots, we're trying to say that that's right. That there were more than 1 gunshot. You can't use that to disprove it. But we're trying to prove that to begin with. And we only have 1 picture showing a definite gunshot in progress. 1 on Eve, 1 on kill, and 1 on decoy. I mean, the first shot may not have even happened anywhere near the lake. That's the thing. There could have only been 2 shots at the lake. The 3rd shot could have been somewhere else beforehand. This could have been somebody pursuing the murder victim. Took a shot, missed. On the boat, missed, and then out on the lake. The 3rd shot was the kill shot. There was only 1 bullet in the victim's body, which means 2 shots missed. So there's going to be a couple of errant bullets out there somewhere, lodged in trees probably. The only thing it can be is this. This is my evidence. The murder weapon. Something about the pistol was bothering me, Your Honor. Both the witnesses who testified yesterday heard 2 gunshots. However, the murder weapon was fired 3 times. Thank you! God. I've wanted to get to this for ages. When, then, was the last shot fired? Only now have I realised the truth. The 3rd shot was the shot Larry heard just before midnight. Wait, what? Why would that be the 3rd shot? I feel the urge to discuss with you on call. I know, it's hard to play. It's hard to watch people playing a game that you've already played and you know everything about, and see them going through it and resist the urge to tell them everything. But half the fun of these is figuring it out, so, you know. That third shot was the shot Larry heard just before midnight. Interesting. So what was the... So he's saying that this was a fourth shot. So why would that not have made a bang? That's a really strange... That's not right. The third shot was the shot Larry heard just before midnight. So the fourth shot was with a different gun entirely. Is what he's saying then. There's an actual murder weapon out there. Or the third shot was probably from a different gun. No. I don't know, we'll see. You haven't played this in a year? Ah, okay. That would make sense to of the evidence we've seen so far. No, it wouldn't. However, this leaves me wondering exactly what did happen on the night on the lake. Exactly. If this is true, there were two sets of gunshots separated by 25 minutes. One at 11:50, another 15 minutes after midnight. Why, I ask you, why? Better to think of something quick. Wait a second. Gunshots separated by 25 minutes? Aha! What's wrong, Nick? I have it. I have it. Remember the case with the Steel Samurai? Huh? Yes, of course, I remember. The murder in this case had the same idea as the murder in that case. They killed him somewhere else and then took him there? What do you mean? Maya. Yes? If we don't figure this out now, we'll never overturn Edgeworth's guilty verdict. I've got a hunch I'm gonna run with it. Right. The safe? Safe? We've already gotten the guilty verdict. We have nothing to lose. You just watch and let me know if I say anything that sounds fishy, okay? Right, Nick. Where's he going with this? Is he saying that Edgeworth was drugged? And that's why he doesn't remember much? So he did say he just woke in a daze and picked up the gun. Your Honor? Yes, Mr. Wright. The testimony just now has cleared up this entire case. I don't know where he's going with this. What do you mean, Mr. Wright? Tisk, tisk, tisk. So, you finally realized the truth. There can be no other murderer here other than Miles Edgeworth himself. Wrong, Von Karma. A man was shot that night, but it wasn't Edgeworth who did the shooting. Listen, rookie. Take a deep breath and consider the facts. At the time of the murder, on the boat, one boat was on the lake. This was shown by the witness's photograph. The defendant, Edgeworth, and the victim, Robert Hammond, were on that boat. There was a gunshot fired on that boat and Robert Hammond fell into the lake. The distance of the gunshot was 1 meter. It couldn't have been suicide. Well, the guilty party has to be the other man on the boat. I admit it's hard to imagine any other possibility. Yes, but this assumes that the victim was shot 15 minutes after midnight. What do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? We have a photographic evidence of the time of the shooting. The timestamp says 15 minutes passed, but Larry heard the gunshot 25 minutes before that. Robert Hammond was killed then, 25 minutes before the shot on the lake. That's the only way that Edgeworth could be innocent.